Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. If you want to show even more support, go ahead to patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Subscribe. $5 a month gets you an extra pod a week. That's double the content. 4 extra episodes a month. Only $5. In a time where we're paying more and getting less, I'm bringing back pay less and get more. Let's go, champ. Patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Show some love. Show some support. Enjoy the episode. Let's get back to it. Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special guest over here. Someone who I feel like we kind of started together, right? Like when I was first started DJing downtown, you had just come down from Addison or one of those suburbs that you're from. Where are you from?
No, I'm from Gurnee, but I moved from I lived out of the state for a year. I lived in South Carolina and then I moved to Chicago. And wasn't it when you started your Tuesday party at Hefe? Was that kind of around the same time?
No way. That was way later.
Really?
Yeah. That was, I mean, you worked at like LA Social, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, back
and
in
Happy's,
the day. Lauren
Max
Marie,
Bar.
by the way. Lauren Marie, sorry, we didn't get the full introduction in.
Shawty Low, retired, now Lauren Marie.
Yeah, Shawty Low. I forgot about that.
And,
yeah, no, where was the first place you worked? This was like,
Key
remember
Club.
before LA Social and shit, you worked at Key Club?
That's how I got into 8 Hospitality. I started at Key Club, and then I started working at like LA Social, Max Bar here and there. And then, then I went to like Hefe and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, no, the Tuesday nights we started like, that had to be 2018. We're talking like 2015, 16 maybe.
Yeah, I started in 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're old as shit.
Yeah, just a couple of old folks. That first Send Nudes party that I ever threw was at LA Social.
I literally blacked out working at LA Social. Like, I completely forgot I did that. Because it was like a college kid. They had like the $1 tequila night. And like everyone would get like just trashy girls blacked out off like $1 tequila. Like I would be blacked out off $1 tequila. Like it was just a mess.
Yeah. Were you bartending back then or
No,
serving?
I was just doing bottle service at the time.
Bottle service.
Yeah.
What do you like better?
Bartending.
Because you're like behind the bar and no one can really,
like
you don't have
can't
to go
like,
through people.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like a bitch in the sense of like I don't like to be touched or bothered, and which kind of sounds weird when you're a bartender, but like when I'm bartending, like you're in my space, bottle serving, trying to move through a crowd of like sweaty people, and then I can't do it anymore.
Are you done bottle serving? You're just strictly bartending now?
Yeah, like if I get asked to do something and I know it's gonna be good money or like I'm really needed, I'll like suck it up and do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just absolutely not gonna just bottle serve for shits and giggles. Like I hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the job you do when you're 21 and then like you either quit the industry or like you become a bartender.
You move on, yeah.
You move on to bigger, better things.
Yeah, I feel that. So what were you in South Carolina for?
I lived with my ex-boyfriend from high school.
And you moved there with him?
Yeah, and his parents.
And then it obviously didn't work out, so you just came back?
Yeah, I literally asked my aunt to pick me up from Alabama, and I kind of snuck out and moved back to Illinois.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Cringe.
How is South Carolina? I've never been there.
Disgusting. Charleston is pretty, but like right outside of the city, it's just gross. Like just so much poverty, and it's dirty, and it just smells bad, and it's humid. It's gross.
Sounds like Houston.
Literally. I've never been to Texas, but I heard it's like literally the same thing.
Yeah, Houston, that's exactly, it's gross and smelly and sweaty and humid and not really put together well. And it's just like, it's hard to go to a place like that when you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Or Gurnee.
Gurnee. I'm dead. But like, I mean, I'm not, like even Chicago's kind of like dirty in some areas, but like it was gross. Like I'd be like, you are by like $1 million mansions, like several $1 million mansions, and then like right across the street it's like just swampy, homeless, like it literally looks like swamp people. So gross.
Yeah, and definitely relatable to Houston for sure. What's going on in Gurnee? How is it growing up so close to Six Flags? Did you go there all the time?
Actually, not really that much. But when people ask me that, I always tell them, like, they're like, oh, you're from Gurnee, like Six Flags. I'm like, yeah, my dad built it with his bare hands. And people literally will be drunk and, like, believe me. And I'm like, gosh, you're so fucking dumb. But I actually grew up in Gages Lake, which is, like, unincorporated next to Gurnee. So I grew up in like, a little lake neighborhood.
That's tight.
Yeah, it was way cooler than Gurnee. Gurnee's lame.
Yeah, but just being by a lake is sick.
Yeah, we did a lot of, like, hillbilly activities.
Hillbilly activities are fun. It's good times. If you could do hillbilly activities, but like elevated, like on like a nice boat, you know, and not like on like a fan boat or something. It's fucking lit.
I'm dead. We had like two boats. We had like a speed boat for like tubing and stuff like that, and then we had like a big like 2-floor boat. Like
that's sick.
Yeah, we would do all types of stuff. Like
That's
we'd go
tight.
ice fishing. That was fun.
Does Donna still live out there?
No, Donna lives in Tennessee.
What? Why?
Yeah, all my family wanted to go be hillbillies even further.
They're deeper in the
Like
hillbilly
my dad
game.
has a farm in Kentucky, and my mom lives in Tennessee. And they
What are
just
you
bought
still doing here? You got to get out there. I'm done with the
How am I
city. I'm
gonna
ready
make
for
money?
hillbilly activities all day.
What am I supposed to do to make money? Like mow people's lawns?
I feel like you would be an incredible bartender at like the local tavern.
No. I did that during the pandemic, and I wanted to put a bullet in my head.
Why?
Because when the city was shut down, and remember when they opened up the suburbs, I went to my hometown bar, and I remember like they were like, oh, like even like once or twice, like at a hometown bar, like making like $400 is like extravagant money. And especially during the pandemic when I'm collecting unemployment, I'm like, damn, I need to do this. But I was suffering. I would go in, clock in, mind you, it's day to night shift, like open to close. And like people would come in immediately and sit down, like the most depressed, like people that are like, oh, I knew your dad back in the day, and like tell me about their divorce. And I'm sitting there like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like I like to just turn and burn when I bartend. I don't want to conversate.
Yeah, there's definitely a big difference between being a bartender at a place like that where you have your regulars and you're schmoozing it up with them and all that, and then, you know, high volume just fucking...
I can't schmooze it up. I just can't. Like
No?
I'm sitting there, I'm like, that sucks. Anyways, I'll pretend to like do anything else but talk. It's so miserable. But like at a high volume nightclub, like you don't really have to have the interaction. It's like, what do you want? Boom, here you go. Close out next. Which is what I like to do.
The Party with Strategy podcast has a brand new sponsor. Make sure you guys go check out Rendezvous Limousine Services for any of your travel needs around the Midwest. It's the best you can get, top notch. Let's be honest, everyone's a little sick of buying Ubers, getting charged for Uber X's like they're black cars, and you know the market's just not what it used to be. You might as well go with your best bet, Rendezvous Limo Service. They got party buses, they got Sprinter vans, they got Escalades, they got Navigators. Only the best of the best. Make sure you check out Rendezvous Limousine. You can find them on Instagram at RNDZ Limo or their website, Rendezvous Limousine. If you're grammatically challenged like myself, Rendezvous is RENDEZVOUS. And we might as well do limousine as well. LIMOUSINE. Rendezvous Limousine. Best you can get anywhere you want to go in the Midwest. Airport pickups, drop-offs, party buses. Just going to see a friend. Do it in style. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Where are you working now? A couple different places, right?
Tunnel's my little home club, so I'm there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Shouts to Lago.
Shout out to my dad.
He loves telling me about the mentions that he gets on the pod.
Oh yeah, he's like a celebrity in Chicago.
Yeah,
He reminds me of
he's
like
hard to miss.
like a mobster, but like my dad.
Yeah, he's definitely got some like mob tie energy with the
Yeah,
pinky
see a
ring
tan?
and shit.
That he makes everybody kiss. I'm dead. But yeah, I work at Tunnel, and then I was kind of just doing like fill-in places. Like I let people know like I could work here, there, whatever. I was doing Gold Coast Social, Fulton Market, Lore, Fame, and I do Liquor Box some Thursdays.
Nice.
So I'm just popping around, being a little industry hoe.
Hell yeah. You coming to Polecats tonight?
Wait, that's tonight?
Every Wednesday.
I've been wanting to go to a strip club for a minute.
Let's fucking go. Get Bree together.
She just left me for 2 weeks.
Where'd she go?
Denver, to go hike a mountain and get closer to God. I don't know.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I'm all alone. But we were literally talking about it because we were literally looking on stripper like industry or like what page were we? Oh, like industrial strip. I'm like, I want to go to an Indiana.
It's Indiana.
Yeah, I was like, I want to go to an Indiana.
Oh, you're trying to get like weird. You're
Yeah.
trying to like go in the back and suck on some titties or something.
No, they have bed dances or something.
What?
I'm like, I don't know what a bed dance is, but I imagine you're just laying there and there's just butt cheeks clapping over your face.
Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable laying in a bed at a strip club.
Yeah, you know, I'd probably go in like a hazmat suit, but just go for the experience.
They gotta have like at the doctor's office that big roll of paper that they rip out and put on the thing.
Like, and they switch it for patient.
Yeah.
No, literally. And then we were looking at, I'm like, let me see what the strippers look like, because that's what I really care about. And this one girl was bent over. I'm sorry if you follow this podcast, girl. I don't know who you are, but she was bent over, cheeks red, and she had a spider web tattoo out of her asshole. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, I want to get a dance from her.
You want to go get caught up in her web?
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. I was like, that's like, first of all, like, I want to know like the pain tolerance, like how, like what was the pain level for that? And two, like, it's a conversation piece. She probably makes so much money. People are probably like, holy shit.
Yeah. So when you are looking at the girls at a strip club, like what are you looking for?
Honestly, it's going to sound bad, but kind of like the more ratchet ones. I feel like they're more fun. Because I worked at a strip club as a server during the pandemic, and
Which
a lot
one?
of like scores.
Oh, nice.
And so when I was serving there, I learned that like a lot of like the more like really pretty, like pretentious ones were kind of like boring and like didn't do all that much. But the ratchet ones were so fun. So I love those ones.
So do you honestly want to go? If you can get like a couple people to go, I'll get you a ride.
No, literally.
For
Where
real?
is Polecats? It's in like what, the South
It's a
Burbs,
little
right?
far, but if I get you a ride, it's all good. It's in southwest. It's in
Stop,
Bridgeview.
I'm gonna hit up our group chat right now. We were talking
should.
about it.
So I got Rendezvous Limousine Services sponsors the pod.
Getting in a limo.
Well, like a black car, you know. But I was supposed to get a party bus for the liquor box staff outing, and then they all bailed. It was like right after Memorial Day weekend. Everyone was tired, so I
Yeah.
have like this credit with them for a party bus, which is expensive. But now I'm thinking about just breaking it up and getting a little,
Splitting it
just
into cars.
Yeah, like a nice black car. Throw 6-7 people in there, bring them out.
Yeah, that's smart.
So let me know.
I'm gonna
You
hit
got a
up our
group.
chat.
I got you.
Like, who the fuck wants to go to the strip club?
It's a
tonight?
good time. It's nice in there. It's not ratchet. I know what you're talking about. Like I work the Polecats in Houston. You'd love it there.
Really?
Real ratchet.
I want to go to like an Atlanta strip club. I've been to Miami strip clubs, but they're all like very like the fake body, like their shit don't stink, like pretentious strippers. Like I feel like Atlanta or like Houston would have like some real like fun ratchet.
You want to
bitches.
just see them make it clap. You're looking
Literally,
for like
but I want to see them like do crazy. Like I love going to the strip club and people who like don't just walk around the pole like acting like hot. Like I want to see you do backflips on the pole. Like I want to see some like Circus Olay shit.
Okay. I'll we'll talk after. If you guys are coming, I'll hit up the manager and I'll make sure that there's a girl there that does tricks.
Girl, I want like 7.
No,
I
at least
know.
one that does tricks.
I know. I like need like at least I'm gonna need a group.
Okay. No,
I need them
there's-
to like do tricks off of each other. Like I want to sit there and be flabbergasted.
So I always like the only strip clubs I really went to in Chicago was Admiral, because I'm from the north side.
You can't drink at that one, right?
You can't drink at that one. It kind of sucks. It's like boring. You can't
Just
like.
because you see coochie lips.
Yes, it's fully nude, so you can't drink. But it's like it's got like library vibes. It's like you have to be quiet and you can't like act out of line. You can't have too much fun, otherwise you're like
That's fucking
wrong.
weird.
So I've always kind of felt like the strip clubs in Chicago sucked because I've
Yeah.
only been there. I've been to Scores. Scores is fun. I've been to like what was Rick's before it was Rick's? It was something else.
Oh fuck! I don't know. I went to that one too.
But
It
yeah.
was Damn, I can't even think of it. But I went to that before it was Rick's.
They have like pasties on over there. There's always just been something.
We had a bottle there and they came out in prom dresses and we didn't even open the bottle yet. And I handed them the bottle. I said, we're leaving. Like, because why are you coming out in like ball gowns? Like, I was like, this is not the vibe we're looking for. Like, we're drunk. We want to see some ass and chi-chis. But then, yeah, then Rick's. I haven't been back to Rick's, but I've heard Rick's is a little like, Like, it's not anything spectacular either.
It's so easily accessible. In terms of like partying downtown, it's like the closest one. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's
especially
fun.
like if you're like leaving Prism early.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like industry ties there. So I know a lot of people go there. But to be honest, Polecats is sick. It's a nice ass club. The girls are hot. It's a good time in there. I'm playing music, so you know the music's good.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
It's industry night, 40% off drinks and food. They got good food.
Oh, Stop Strip Clubs have the best food.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the best chicken tenders.
So I'm just saying, every Wednesday.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
We went to, when I was in Nashville, we were with Darren, and I got us kicked out of the strip club because I got on the stage. But we had to bring our own liquor to that one, too. But they weren't fully naked, so I don't understand if that was like a Southern thing. But their strip club sucked. We had a bottle of Jack Daniels, which I don't even drink Jack. But I was like, fuck it. Like, what else am I going to drink? And then the strippers were being boring, and I like ran on stage and did a little woo-woo on the pole, and I got chased out.
Did you at least dump them out, or you were just fully clothed? I feel like if you dumped them out, they would have let you stay.
Honestly, I was fully clothed, but I was probably the most entertaining person in there. So
I went one time, the first time I ever went to Nashville, me and my buddy went to the strip club to like pregame. They sent, you can call them and they'll send you a car that's free and they'll take you there.
What?
Yeah, most strip clubs do that. Most of them.
I did not
Especially in like party cities like that, like Vegas or Nashville or shit like that.
Shit.
And we get there and it was cool or whatever. And then the stripper, then she turned it up. She turned it way up.
Do they go with like in the car to like get you hyped up?
No, but that'd be sick.
Yeah, they should have like a transport stripper that like hypes you up before you get in there. Like she's in the car shaking ass. Like it's a preview of what's about to go down.
Now we're talking. I'm gonna have to talk to Mo about this. I feel like this is a strong business idea.
I think so too. Cause like, do you ever notice like if you're like going, for me, especially like I'm someone when I'm drunk and I'm fucked up, like I want to teleport from each place. I do not want that gap in time where I'm like sobering up thinking about my life choices. Like I just have to keep it going. So if you get in a car and it's like silent and you're all drunk and you're like, I'm going to go make more bad decisions. I should probably go home. But if you have a stripper in the car, you don't even have time to think like that.
That is a really good point, because when I was being a bad man and doing bad things and I would be in Ubers with women that I was bringing back home, I'm like, my crib's like 10, 15 minutes down the highway, which at night, like most people live in River North or close.
Yeah.
I'm like considered far.
Yeah.
So I always like knew that you have to keep them entertained in the Uber. If there's a moment of silence in the back of that Uber where they can like,
you're like pulling out party tricks.
yeah, I'm like, you got to keep the conversation going. You got to keep it flowing. You got to keep it fun.
See, I thought it was going to be you like having like pre-nut clarity instead of post-nut clarity. Like, what am I fucking doing with this girl?
No, it was most of the time like, holy shit, how did I get this girl to come fucking back to my crib with me is
Literally.
what I was thinking most of the time. But yeah, if like you could see it. I've seen it in their eyes. Like if there's a lull in the car and they kind of look out the window and they're like, where are we going?
like what the fuck? Like that's why like some places, like if the club's too far, I'm like, I can't even do it. Like I'll be sobered up by that point, thinking about like how many bad choices I'm about to make, like how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. Like let's just call it a night. But if we got a stripper in the car, I don't know.
Yeah, I like
Break
that.
me off like 5% for the idea.
I like that. Maybe yeah, we'll talk.
It doesn't have to be a stripper, just like someone fun.
Someone fun, yeah.
Or if the car, it could be like small, like maybe like a midget stripper for a confined space.
That's why you got to get Riz to go. He's a good time. I feel like Riz always makes it a good time. That's why he's a good promoter, because he's just a fun time.
Until he gets like so drunk and he's just like, he wouldn't even know if he's in the car with you.
Yeah.
My guy gets smacked.
There's definitely times when I've seen him and there's nothing going on behind his eyes.
He comes to my bar. It's so funny. He'll literally look at me and he'll be like, can I get and then he'll make eye contact with me and he like, goes blank stare like, is she judging me? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, dude, what do you want to drink? He's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, it's okay. Just order. I'm done.
That's hilarious.
I aspire to get that drunk sometimes. I haven't been like that hammered in a really long time.
It is. That's like a vacation drunk, you know, like there's nothing better than a vacation drunk when you know you have no responsibilities and you don't give a fuck and like you're not driving for sure and you're close to the hotel or maybe you're even in the hotel or whatever the fuck it is and you can just get hammered.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get that drunk. I unfortunately do have responsibilities. I'll get drunk at work, but then I'm like, it's at work. Like, I have to do money. I can't get too drunk. So yeah, you have responsibilities.
Yeah, that's like, you've lasted a long time in this industry. Obviously, that's like a definite feature that you need to have is to be able to drink but not overdo it.
Yeah,
which is easier said than done and way harder for some people. I think it also
like takes practice because I'm not
practice
kidding.
Makes perfect.
It does. Because like when I wouldn't work, like even now sometimes like I haven't been like super like smacked in a long time, but when I'm working I could rip like me and Tony, when we'd bartend together, we put like little marks on our finger. There's been times I've done like 20 shots, but I'm moving so fast it's like pumping through my body and I'm like, okay, I'm drunk for sure, but I'm like good, like I'm like can speak clearly, do my money, I'm good. But when I'm on the other side of the bar and I'm not getting that like blood flow, it's when it sneaks up on you. It's
like the task is keeping you busy and it's keeping you distracted from how actually drunk you are.
Yeah, because if I'm sitting at the other side of the bar and I have 5 shots, I'm like, holy fuck, call my mom. Like, I can't do this. Like,
yeah, I could relate to that. DJing, like sometimes if you're drinking a lot while DJing and you see a bunch of people, oh, shot, you're DJing, you're having fun, you're flowing, you're doing your thing, and then right when it's over and the lights come on, you're like, whoa, I'm fucking
The lights
hammered.
Are what gets me every time. Because like the lights go on, I'm like, holy shit, time to get serious.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, it just depends. Like there's times where I would get so hammered at work, which is like obviously when I was like 21, 22, you kind of learned from that. But now that I'm like, feel like a little bit more vetted, I know how to drink behind the bar and not act like an asshole. So.
Yeah. How do you feel about like the industry at the current moment?
It kind of is in a, I don't want to say it's at the, like, there was some really low points where I thought about like not wanting to be in the industry anymore because I'm like, it just will never be as good as it once was. But I do feel like lately there's been better parties that have been popping off, like, and it's starting to be like when you go to those parties it's like fun. I just feel like unfortunately a lot of like the clientele has changed, which kind of makes it a little boring because like people don't party and dance on tables like they used to. Like everyone's too cool, they just sit on their phone getting like classe and they're just like, yeah, like where the fuck are the vibes at? Like that's what would be fun.
At what point were you thinking about leaving because it was so boring? Are you talking like, if it's 2024 right now, are you talking like right after the shit opened up from the pandemic?
No, I would say maybe like a year after that up until recently, just because it's like people would try to do like parties and people like weren't going out the same way, so like parties wouldn't be like super busy. Or again, like you'd go out, like you're like, remember you go out on like a Tuesday night and it's like popping somewhere and like you'd be like, oh, all my friends are gonna be there. Like people don't go out that same way that they used to, like especially industry people. I don't know if it's because we're old now, but like they just don't do that anymore. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, going out during the week is kind of boring. And then I'd work all weekend. So I'm like, well, this is just my cycle. Like, and then other parties started kind of just like happening. And I was just like, oh, wow, it's fun again.
What's your favorite party?
I like Sundays. I actually really enjoy Tunnel Sundays, like the treehouse up into Tunnel. Not even just because I work there, but it's just a day drinking vibe up into like a club vibe, and you don't have to again like have the lull in the
travel
car
anywhere.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed that. I feel like you see a lot of people, which is like also what makes going out fun. Like you don't want to go out to a club with a bunch of strangers. Like you want to see people that are like familiar faces or things like that. So I enjoyed that party. I'm
gonna have to check out Treehouse and Tunnel Sundays because I haven't been since they started doing Tunnel. They've been doing Treehouse for a while, but they recently added Tunnel to it. Yeah. And Sundays, like I stopped working on Sundays because it's been so bad.
Yeah.
Even when I was coming back to visit from Houston and I'd come do
Yeah,
a
you're like,
weekend
that's
here,
the day. Like,
be
you're like,
like,
we're going to have a fucking day. And then
Yeah.
you are sitting there, like, drunk. It's like 7 p.m. and you're like, I'm ready to call it.
this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You get to bounce. Your last hope is like, all right, bounce
Yeah.
at 10. Like, hopefully everyone will be there.
And then it's
you got
dead
there
till like midnight. And you're like, how do I stretch myself till midnight when everyone gets it's just
But even at midnight, like, it was more packed than it was at 10, but it's just
not the same.
not what it used to be. And there's like, I think there's two things is like, I had to stop comparing what I used to know to what it is now because I'll never be satisfied
I
that
know,
way,
that's
you know?
me. I'm like, Sundays just used to hit. But when we threw the New Year's Day party, me and Riz came up with like the ski party. And I was really nervous. I'd never thrown a party before. But that day was so much fun. And it was like slammed. Everyone was spending money. Everyone was dancing, having a good time. Like, it wasn't one of those parties that you walk into and you're like, it's kind of lame. Like, it was actually like a huge success. And everyone was like telling me, like, it reminded me of like Bottle Blonde Sundays. Like, it was just so much fun. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry.
Hell yeah.
But I was like, that I think also sparked a little bit of hope. Like, we still can have fun.
Yeah. And this summer has definitely shown that, like, I feel like since summer has started, it feels like nightlife is coming back a little bit.
Yeah.
People are starting to come out more. We're getting like better crowds for sure.
Yeah.
And it gives me hope because
Yeah.
the slow season was like, yo, is this shit going away forever?
Literally.
Like, this is terrible.
Seriously. And then also just like the crowd post-pandemic was just, it was very, again, like the like too cool, like, because people going out during the pandemic, let's be real, a lot of their money was not legal. Like, it's all drug dealers, scammers, you know, X, Y, and Z. And they stayed going out, which is great. Like, I love making money off of you. But like, they are just so boring. And then they bring out boring bitches. So like, it's just like everyone's sitting there like they think like they're the president or something. Like, they're just too good for everything. And I'm like, shake some ass, have some fun, like throw some money, like
Yeah.
be like, that's what makes the whole crowd like hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see bottles go to a table and everyone's sitting there, you're kind of like,
You have
okay.
to enjoy yourself. And that's like, that's what the alcohol is for, right? You take a couple shots, you have a couple drinks, you're a little loose, and you're like, okay, I'm having fun. I'm settling into this environment.
Yeah.
I'm able to let loose a little bit. But now it just feels like people are so entitled that like they can't have fun until they get what they want. They're not
Right.
going to enjoy themselves until you play the song that they want, or they're not going to
Oh
enjoy
my
themselves
God.
until, you know, something that they want happens.
Or like, God forbid, they're waiting for a table. Like, you walk in and then they, again, which is just crazy to me because this actually happens like every Sunday or like any night that it's like, you know how like there's people that have like kind of associated themselves with industry, but they're never industry, but they're drug dealers that maybe sold to people in the industry. I don't know. You
they're
know what I'm
industry
talking.
enough.
You
If
know
you
the
supply the industry with the
like,
drugs
you're
that they
basically
need,
yeah.
you're,
We'll allow you in.
Yeah.
But like, it's gotten to a point where it's like an entitlement thing. Like, they'll walk in and maybe they'll be cool as people, but then they'll walk in with like stuck up girls and then they'll want like shots right away and they don't want to pay for the shots because they're waiting for their table. And then God forbid you charge them for like a shot but not the other and they don't tip you. I'm like, oh hell no. Like, it's the entitlement thing that is like really, I think, driving me crazy too.
yeah.
I feel like it never used to be like that. Like, when we'd go out and we'd get comp bottles or whatever, it'd be like, whatever you gave us, we would drink. Like, who cares? We didn't even drink Classic. We drank Jameson back in the day. And
Yeah.
like, cheap shit. And now everybody wants like comp Class A and they can't afford 2 shots of Reposado without tipping $5. It's just crazy. So the entitlement, I think, is also kind of gave me the ick lately.
Yeah. Yeah. The entitlement's bad. But I think with the fun coming back and with nightlife itself coming back, and there's not as much of like a need for people to be in the venue, and you can kind of tell people to go fuck themselves.
I can't wait for
it
that.
will curb that entitlement a little bit, you know?
I hope.
Yeah.
Because I have no problem telling people to go fuck themselves. Like, I literally feel like, get the fuck away from me. Like, that's why I get in trouble a lot. Thankfully, like, shout out Lago. He really lets me just have my moments. But, like, then it's just the entitlement of people coming out to the bar. And it's crazy because it's always people, like, with the chains on. Like, they spend every dollar on their outfit, and they have no more when they come to the bar. It's crazy.
It is nuts to dress like you have a lot of money and then not have any.
Literally.
Like, that's insane.
Like, why are you being so
Like,
disrespectful?
At Liquor Box, it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, there's this fucking Indian kid with the table next to me, and he's the man, and he's got all this money, and he keeps pulling his wad out.
He's probably the smallest dick.
And then he comes up in the DJ booth, and he wants a song, and I tell him it's $100. And he's like, oh, I'm only giving you 20. I'm like, well, you're not getting your song then. And he's like trying to bargain with me like we're at the bazaar or something. I'm like, you gotta, you're dressed like you have all the money
Literally,
in the
if
world.
You're holding it like
you're holding all this
you're
money.
You're holding onto it for dear life. Like, he's not letting that wad go. He's like, you're gonna have to pry it from my cold dead hands. That's how they act. Like, it's crazy because then it's like their chain. They got like this designer. They want to act like so fucking cool. But like, I respect people who have like money like that, who like see that I'm busting my ass. Like, if you see sweat dripping down my forehead and I'm in like a thong, throw me some fucking money. Like, I'm working hard. But like, if you're doing that, standing at my bar, acting like the coolest motherfucker, holding up my bar because you just want to stand there and have a space while you're waiting for your table and you don't tip me, I will literally tell you to go fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy. And
then they like walk in, but then when the girl's not there, they're like, hey man, like, what can you do for me? Pay for the fucking bottle. Like, can you hook it up? Why does everyone need a discount these days? I don't get it. Like, you're so rich. Why?
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.